Hello and welcome to Enterprise Morning on Enterprise Television. I am Kende Bodun.
And I am Henry Igwebike.
We are delighted to start the day with you. As always, we begin with a quick look at today's newspaper headlines before diving into the main conversation of the day. Trust me, you don't want to miss a moment with us. You can join the conversation by liking, following us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. You can also share. Thank you. Okay, so joining us this morning is Adeola Showdown. He's a journalist and a social activist, and he will be sharing expert insights on the issues before us. You're welcome, sir.
Good morning to you, sir. Happy New Year. This the first time we're having you in 2000.
Happy New Year. It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
So all of us will start with the Punch newspaper for today.
Okay.
On the top strip, we have 2027 ADC faction eyes Jonathan Saraki Makinde alliance.
Okay, beside that, we have counter-insurgency. U.S. delivers military supplies to Nigeria.
Finally, lots of people will say that's what they have been looking for, but some other people will say that is not exactly. But let's take a look at other stories. Nigeria, UAE scraps tariffs on over 13,000 goods. Okay,
we also have victims identify alleged or church attackers in court.
And also, federal roads spending soars 489% to 3.23 trillion naira.
And the big story here on the Punch newspaper, we have governor's budget 525 billion naira for security as killings spread.
Yes, and particularly from that same story, a right that we have is security votes jump 40% since 2023. Borno, Anambra, Delta, record high budget. Northeast, Southeast leads. Mr. Shoyinto, I'd love us to speak to this issue. This money ordinarily should have gone to development, should have gone to providing welfare for the people, education, healthcare system for these people, but it's been diverted to security because that is the reigning thing in town. Of what good is this to governance in Nigeria today?
Well, we all know that the first duty of government is security of lives and property. So ordinarily, one should look at it as a good thing, ordinarily. But it can't be when you subject it to the reasons for this insecurity, which is basically bad economy and its governance. So such money should have been put into resolving the causes of this insecurity, which include unemployment, hunger, starvation, So, that should have been the thing, because what they are doing now is to curb the effect, not curbing or resolving the causes. But don't forget too, during security period is a good way to loot public fund, because security budget is always like, just let them do it because you want to be secure. But when you look at it over the years, you discover that the more budget for security, the more the insecurity. So what that means is that politicians may be using that as part of the war chest for the election. But if you budget for agriculture, if you budget for road, those ones are, or even education, those ones are easily monitored or non-monitorable by the members of public. If you say security, of course everybody is under insecurity. So, that would be an avenue to loot public money on the basis of that. And that is why many of them are not doing much about it, despite the budget. Don't forget that the first budget at the top, at the federal level, has been increasing astronomically, yet the bandits and terrorists have continued to take territories, expanding. It used to be Borno, northeast axis. Today they are in southwest, they are in middle belt, they are in places they are not before. So I don't see maximum money pumping security are being used effectively Instead of that, if you have cases of youth unemployment, agriculture that is failing, if you have cases of dropout from school, why can't they form this huge fund to tackling the main causes of insecurity? Apart from religion, which some people are taking into a mad state. Apart from that, the economic question is the most important about the causes of insecurity. To me, that should have been. But don't forget, politicians, most of them are looters, outright corrupt. So security vote, budget for security is so easy to loot, so easy to consume than other, what I would call equally substantial sector of the economy. And of course, you had to tell them, you say they are not going to disclose. How many guns are you buying? How many police vehicles are you buying? How are you distributing? They will tell you no security information. They do. So it allows them the whole system to loot. Security fund is the easiest to loot, even though security funds are supposed to be important. That's why you have it every year. Security budget going. Even Baba Ladoja, before he died, he alluded to that during the crisis with Ladoja, when Ladoja was in power. He told the public that that Ladoja was not sharing part of security vote with him, and he had the talks and political role by his side. He can afford to cause wahala. So, but Ladoja is, it's not. I mentioned it point blank that we're going to be taking about 5% of the security vote. So, invariably, it's not really to tackle security, it's to loot. Give KBC, give Edmea, give OB, give talks, give national, road transport water that are part of their political talks, give cultists, bribe media, part of it. So security vote is like a pocket money for government that you can spend at wish while buying just few AK-47 and train from people. That's what they mean by security.
Very true.
Thank you.
Yes. Unfortunately, the EFCC does not.
Mr. Showdown said something. He said security funds are, they are the easiest to lose. So I want you to just explain that within 30 seconds or 60 seconds. How is it easy? Or how is it easily for security funds to be looted?
So easy. I'll give you 2 instances. If a governor or president says they want to do this, of course we can challenge that on the basis of cost by kilometer, as we are doing on this circular road. As states are doing, active citizens are querying kilometer per road in one state to the other. So that one can be subjected to public discussion, public view, public disagreement. And because you say you want to plant, if you say you want to go into agriculture, like what Fayose did to loot the state money by these poultry. Because, when you say you want to do a poultry, everybody knows after 21 weeks to 22 weeks, layers should start laying. And if you say you have 100,000 birds, plus or minus 10% fatality, plus or minus 10% not laying, we expect to have a projection of how many crates of egg you should have it per week. So when you talk of security, it's such a bogus, ambiguous sector that they will first of all tell you, if you ask your governor now, even in different states, how many guns are you buying with this money? How many police are you training? How many jeep or security or e-laws are you buying? They will not tell you anything. They will just tell you security information.
Okay.
That's not it. Go and confirm. I'm talking from experience from those who are in government. That's what is happening. Security vote is part of the money they use to give people to go and bury their deceased one. It's not about. what they will spend about security, maybe we're talking about 10 to 20%. But it's easier to loot. Very, very easy. Because
All right.
of non-disclosure.
All right, thank you so very much. But let's move to the Guardian newspaper for today equally. Straight to the talking point. 2027, INEC laments waning public confidence in elections. Mr. Shoyinka, I'd love you to speak to us on this. Public confidence for our electoral processes is dwindling by the day. APC are all over the place, hoping, praying that people will come register. They have started what they call e-registration for APC with the hope of getting 9 million voters. And the reason is because Nigerians are not happy with the way we conduct our elections. They vote for one person, INEC selects, and the judiciary stamps the person. At the end of the day, we have a deficit of leadership. So do you think this would continue in the future, especially as we approach 2027? We recorded about 25 million votes in 2023. Do you think we will go higher or lower than that in 2027?
Well, it depends on how this present leadership of INEC conduct elections. People should know that over the years, politicians should tell you, figures are written in most cases. Figures are written. I've been monitoring elections for many years. And when you go to public voters education campaign, which we organize in different states, you see INEC state chairman making pronouncement. I give you one instance. During our Lagos state election, I think before the second term of market, the INEC chairman, I was there. National Orientation did a work education campaign, voter education, and I was invited to chairman the event. So I specifically, the man, the INEC state rep, specifically said that any polling unit that the card reader did not work, they will make sure they bring another card reader to work. There's not going to be any manual accreditation. That's a good one. That's a fundamental principle to make elections credible. And what happened? During the election day, many electoral booths, many election booths did not have working, the machine was not working. And people were phoning that, they didn't allow us, they are using manual. And I made a call to the man. He didn't pay my call. Because that day when he said that, as the chairman of the event, I took Mike and I asked him to emphasize that so that those media guys that have missed that state will now record it on phone. And I can recorded it on my phone because that was a very good push that, look, if this thing did not work, registration machine that is going to bring, I even asked if the one you brought didn't work, so it's going to bring another one to make sure that everybody will be registered. Then about our IRA, INEC National, the password that is not ambassador of compensation, that one was saying it emphatically at different fora I was, which I wasn't, of course, which was that is going to be prime time announcement. I was on, I think, at Sahara Reporter studio on the day of election. And of course, I also emphasized that in happiness. By the time the Sahara Reporter crew that was going out to cover election in Lagos, I thought they were going, they were in high mood. Because election could not be, election, ghosts don't conduct elections. Process, system, rules, and individual conduct elections. And the moment you allow system rules to stay, individual processing reduces. That's the truth. Then people say, electoral reform, I ask them, what other reform you want to? What other reform? If politicians are not reforming the habit, the attitude, we have what other, tell me. We all use phone, we use ATM. What other reform you want there? You go to your ATM Of course, you don't need to bribe anybody, you don't need to know anybody to get money. Everybody will collect dirty money, everybody will collect new notes. So everybody kills. That would have been the style. And of course, what they have done up even before the last one was those things were good enough to conduct free and fair elections. But we are dealing with rogue politicians who see election as a do or die affair. So it's not about confidence. The INEC chairman now doesn't need to speak much. Just give the basic principle. And you give promises that if it doesn't work, if this doesn't work, we are going to maintain, we are going to make sure it works, even if it takes 2 days to conduct elections. That is what people, and you follow it up, you walk the talk, and you tell all your state persons that, look, this is what you want to do. Election is so easy to conduct. After all, being to other countries, and you see, we even know some countries that they were having elections. People go, but election is war here, because politics to power is a high profitable industry in Nigeria. So it's not about the process or the machine, it's about individual. That's why people compromise. Go and bring the best system. They will compromise it. Except voters are very, very, very desperate to make sure that their votes were cast, and of course the voters would count. But don't forget, even when they have all this sort of their talks that will go to places where, when you compromise with security, they will go to places where their opponents have high support to make sure election does not take place there. That's the thing. It's about individual now. It's not about processes, electoral, whatever. No, it's not. You have seen the last election when those Sahara reporter guy came. I was one of the analysts who said, if I was clear paper, I should have been able to move. When they came back, those guys were in depression because they went out with emotions. They joked that the thing is not working. This place is not working. Even those of us in the studio, they are not seeing results being released instantly as promised. So what are you talking about? If this man there now want credibility, he can have it by acting, not by appealing to media people. But no, hack. All those things that will make you credible, fair and free, that will make elections. All those things are there. They are there. Forget you go and bring other routes. You are wasting your time when you have ropes. People do fence. Don't forget. People do fence that are higher than 20 feet. I'm robbers.
Okay.
People do fence, have dogs, have everything. They don't have dogs. Rocks will come if there's no change of attitude. That's the thing. The man should just walk the talk, waste no time on polemics, and listen not to anybody. The voters complain and adjust. If he's worshiping one devil or the other, despite being a person, he's going to go the way of others. Credibility will be lost because people are eager to vote and see their vote count.
Okay.
Credibility is under question at this point in Nigeria, and INEC is deeply involved in it. I just sincerely hope that someday, just like we trust our accounting and our taxation to foreign firms, you know, like the Deloitte, the KPMGs, I just hope that we would have an international organization that conducts elections for different countries, right? Such that we can contract them to help us conduct elections that we know is free and fair without
that would not be okay.
because we seem not to be getting it right. We have Mahmoud Yakubu who will tell us there's glitches and will announce by 4 a.m. Yes.
They do monitor now. They do monitor and they write stinker.
Yes, but it only appears on the newspapers and that is it. It doesn't translate to anything else.
It exposes criminal leaders that we are calling leaders. That's what it means. If organization come, and they make stinker about your election and you didn't change, that means they are calling for social revolution. That's what it means. Because people who agree bad government to stay for some time, in as much as they have some power to vote them out. At the moment, either at the state, local government, or federal, the moment these options are closed, option of voter sending them are closed, then people are calling for protest, calling for revolution, they are calling for mass uprising. It's as simple as if we are going to get there if election doesn't come. That's it.
All right, thank you so very much. So just to let you know that Mr. Showdown will still be here to take us on our main conversation when we return. Fayose versus Fubara, APC CSOs react as Rivers tension deepens. In the beat, Enterprise morning it is. Don't go anywhere.
We'll be right back.
It's glad to have everyone join us today. Wherever it is you do that around the world, we say welcome. This is Enterprise Morning on Enterprise Television. Let's get straight to our conversation for today. Former Ekiti State Governor Ayo Fayose has stirred fresh controversy over the political crisis in Rivers State after questioning Governor Siminalayi Fubara's claim of being 001 in the All Progressive Congress APC membership register in his word. Speaking during an interview, Fayose argued that political leadership within a state does not automatically rest with a sitting governor. Drawing a comparison with Lagos State, Fayose said Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu cannot be regarded as the political leader of Lagos, insisting that President Bola Tinubu, a former governor of the state, holds that position.
Very true. On the Rivers crisis, Fayose maintained that President Tinubu would not abandon the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Wike, in favor of Governor Fubara. Fayose's remarks prompted swift reactions from the stakeholders in Rivers State. The factional APC chairman in the state, Chief Emeka Beke, alongside civil society advocate Mr. Chizi Enyi, criticized Fayose and advised him to focus on his political alliance with Wike rather than interfering in Rivers affairs.
So let's get talking. We still have Mr. Showdown with us. Thank you so very much, sir, for hanging on. It's glad to have you discuss this because it's important that we get into this messy situation happening in Rivers State. But talking about Fayose, the man under reference, we all know he's standing on the mandate now. Lots of people will say he is hungry and looking for political gains. What's your take on this little intervention he's doing for Rivers State between two brothers that are quarreling amongst themselves?
Well, don't forget this popular saying that there's no honor among thieves. No honor. Whether it's ex-governor, ex-president, or rent or whatever. That we have somebody like Fayose putting opinion about state capture as his own reality or sustainable God. It shows how moral wreck the nation is. There's no person in the country today that will not know antecedent of Fayose. Either corruption, either political thuggery, rogue, and what have you. So if people like that are the opinion molder in the current dispensation, it's a simple thing. It just tells us that we are moving backward. Moral, no ethics, no scruple, no anything. You just feel that power is power. Can you imagine giving an example of Tinubu, who has done the state capture, which Wike also wants to do, and many governors want to do? That is the first threat to democracy. It's not about election. Election becomes rigged, not on the day of election. On the basis of mindset and the processes going on in different states. If the mindset is to make sure that one person is the alpha and omega of a state, of course, if that one person insists that's going to get the power at all costs, it means that the election is already rigged. Because a rogue who capture a state or two states cannot allow free and fair election. Because free and fair election also talks about free and fair primary or parties in picking their choice. So when you suppress your party or as an interloper, so how do you expect the election to be free and fair? I put something up about a week ago that the most difficult question that any teacher can give his students is to find the difference between portable and Wike. That's a very difficult question. To say, okay, go and look for the difference between portable and Wike. It's going to be difficult for even the most brilliant students to see the differences. And what that means is that even our pretense to dignity has been shattered on the basis of the current rogues, particularly in APC, in other bourgeois parties. If not, how can somebody start promoting state capture as the ideal, like it did in Ekiti, which was not successful because there was higher force against him? If not, how can any former governor wants to still be dominating? Why? Fayose, Wike was never a member of APC, even though he was working to destroy APB for APC. Even the election we are talking about, was it free and fair that brought Fubara? Well, it wasn't. We saw it. All of us saw it. Where Wike stopped didn't allow anybody to get to INEC with his voice, supported by police. And they were just getting different figures. Somebody still said some things to me about Wike and the Rivers election when I was contesting, because I didn't believe you can have, even you see report election result, written and cancelled with viral. Is that what, do we continue this way? Rogue politicians are a threat to democracy. They don't believe in it. They don't at all. You want to stay, you want to copy, so that Awolowo, as great as he was, never had a state capture. And I'll give instances. In Kwara, Awolowo wanted another candidate to be the candidate. He wanted one man from Ofa to be the candidate. But the party, the young party member, wanted Adebayo to be the candidate in 1983. Awolowo lost to the party. That is leadership. In Oyo, Awolowo wanted Alayonde to be governor, to be the governorship candidate of, but the young member wanted Bola Tinubu. Awolowo lost. So what are you talking about? What are we talking about? But now, if a Tinubu, a Wike, or a Makinde wanted somebody to be the next governor after that, if they are going to push their way, stay their way, with talks, with money, that is not democracy. That is robbery. That is business of touts. That's business of criminality. Even nobody will do that in secondary school election. So all that is happening in Rivers State is just a reflection of how morally indecent leaders have become, and of course the nation. How can you do that? You see Obama laws, even Ghana Ghana. You see the way they are doing. President will go from different parties. That is how to enhance democracy, so that people will have confidence that this is system they have and they believe in. Not that we know they are going to be. Somebody was saying it on phone with my wife about 3 days ago, talking about anybody, we know they don't. This is an average man. He said we know they don't. Election is not about voting Nigerian. Was trying to justify, and that is the tragedy. That is not the tragedy. So media people, and of course the voters, should not wait. I'm giving paper presentation before election, because we even publish 30 ways to rig election. Pre-election, days before election, count Lord. This is what we should, instead of romancing the rogues that are involved in state capture. How can you be talking state capture? You are in PDP, you are justified or you want to control what is happening in the APC. And the president was looking at you because the president wanted or still want you to do rigging job there. It's obvious. I've been in this country for some time. In fact, Umaru Diko, Shagari, did not do one thing. Yet all of us were crying about his bad character. This one, Wike, so uncontrollable, so immoral, and was still a minister. That tells you that Tinubu is giving him the oxygen to breathe. And he said the raw signal that the election will not go to be free and fair. That's what the meaning. You cannot curb your minister, you cannot sack him. Sack Wike today as minister. It becomes a nobody. It's not because anything. Sack him today, become nobody. But the president was looking at him, and they just passed one authority directive that I should. And he replied, that president face is not useful. You should sack him. That tells you the moral collapse the nation is all about, because there's government and of course there's politics. When you are elected, you are supposed to do work of election. If you want to resign. Also, INEC that is talking of independence, of credibility, close their eyes against that, which to me is not good. The election campaign has not started. You should have warned them that all political parties can be meeting, can be discussing. They're coming out to campaign, for aspirants or for yourself. It's very wrong. You know, when people are campaigning, that is dropping the gun. And this is part of conditions flouted to make election not free, not fair, and violent. So if you are just election 2007, if it goes like this, it's not going to be free and fair. It's going to be rigged with violence, with killing, with naming, and what have you. That is the truth. It's obvious. The morning determines the night. That is it. It's obvious. Everywhere, nobody is even talking of the economy. Nobody is talking of welfare.
Right, I think we lost Mr. Shoyinton there. He was speaking to all of these very complex issues happening in Nigeria, especially with our electoral system and process that we run. Yes, Wike is at the center of this discussion. A man who is all self-centered to some extent. People would regard that. Of course, it's reading all over the place. Very so glaring that he is really a formidable force that cannot be controlled. And one would wonder, why is that person still there? Why would President Bola Tinubu still have him there? Like Mr. Shoyinton did say, that he told people that were questioning why he should be sacked. And he said that if he is not valuable, that President Bola Tinubu would have sacked him. So the question, the term valuable is the center of the point there. Mr. Shoyinton is back with us.
He just said meeting has ended. So that was what.
Yes, you can continue. It's just a little glitch there. So yeah, so you can continue on your thoughts. Or you have a question?
Okay, no.
Are you seeing my?
Let's hear from Ali.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess you. So you can just do a question there.
Okay. So how I really want to. I'm looking at this question, but let me just take it away from. Okay, so can we say how could this crisis affect governance and stability in Rivers State?
It's already affecting it. It's already not affecting because the governor must move with his own talks. Wike must move with his own talks for protection and to show that they are in control. But that should be towards end of the fourth year. That's it. I was here even during Obasanjo regime. It's about the third year that started doing a lot of underground campaign. But these ones, they don't respect law, they don't respect rule, They don't respect ethics. They just see, but what they are doing now is motor park politics. They are affecting it already. And they have to spend so much money on their political touts. That's the truth. So much money on courts on campus, so much money on National Union of Road Transport Workers, so much money on state assembly members to buy them or to rebuy them. So it's about, it's not governance, it's not opportunity. This Rivers State that past years, during the Second Republic, we had people with character at their government. But today, what do we have? We also show the general trend in the system. System that's collapsed, that doesn't goes on any integrity. You can see, I mean, I don't understand. Because a Fubara was exposing what the judges were doing, collecting money, upon the judgment and things like that. I mean, that is enough for many judges to go to court, so okay, come or they resign. Because it's an indictment. If people talk, and it's not Fubara alone, everywhere, people talk about judges. Even law is written in grammar, English grammar, so you can read the judgment. And we know what many judgments have gone to. With due respect, very few that are very, 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 very truthful to their callings and happy to be that very few, very few. The way to promote them is also another thing entirely. So it's a question of people themselves, and there is danger now. The danger is that people may not come out for the election much, that the result will be higher. But that is one thing. But when you are causing crisis here and there, you are pushing back most people. I will not come back here. We will know what they are going to do. They have already read the water. And that is the time politicians like. Because when there is apathy, and there is apathy in election, the vote will rise astronomically. Even there was a time, I think the president or so openly said, "We are the voters." When he voted, and when they gave a result, was even more than when the people came out to vote. So it's about rigging is not a deal on election. No. Rigging has started in most states now. We state capturing. It's as simple as it is.
Very true. We can't overstate, some of these things, and this is usually what happens when we have wrong or round pegs of square holes. Like Mr. Shointo did say, the process that brought Simenalayi Fubara in the first place was really not good enough, wasn't so comfortable. Simenalayi Fubara, during the primaries of the PDP, was not the person the PDP people wanted at the time. Yes, and Wike forced Simenalayi Fubara on the people. And today, the table is turning, but the people of Rivers State are suffering the brunt as we speak as a result of all of this many shenanigans that those in power have brought upon us. Very so sad, but that is the reality we have before us. Thank you so very much, Mr. Shointo, for being here. We truly do appreciate your insight.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure. Good morning.
Thank you so very much, sir. All right, that's just about the time we have. We'd love to say thank you for making this a date. Please do well to follow us. You can find us at enterprisetvnews.com to read up on everything we have talked about today. You can also download to rewatch, share to your friends and your folks when you visit us at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry Igwebike.
And I'm Kehinde Bodunmi.
Have yourself a splendid day. God bless you.
God bless Nigeria.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now.